Hi, this is Andrew Krug, the Global Community Manager for Niantic Labs, and you're listening to the Agent Academy podcast.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/agentacademy. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle or MP3 player. And now, welcome to the Agent Academy.
Downloading latest intel package. Welcome back. I was getting worried about you.
Welcome back yourself! Agent Academy episode 34, recorded on September 12th, 2018. I'm Agent Goonie Guy.
I'm Agent Sellybelly.
And I'm Agent Soho.
And we're glad that you're here with us tonight because we're going to talk about Ingress. And we're going to talk about fields in Ingress. And we're going to talk about Texas. And we're going to talk about probably getting sick, I think, maybe. We're going to talk about, did I mention Ingress? Well, we're going to talk about that and so much more. So stay tuned and, let's just talk about it now. So, Agent Soho, you want to talk about Ingress?
Yeah. So I had the shortest stories this week because I don't really have any exciting stories other than I made my bio card. Goonie Guy, as you know, already had a card and has passed it out a few times. So I finally got to making mine. And it's the picture of me is like how you see me on the podcast. It's literally sitting right here with it's like you're looking at the bio card right now, like an animated version of it. So once I get it
lean your head to the right just a little bit.
Right, just a little,
Yeah.
something like that. Anyway, so I'll print it out and I'll get it ready and pass it out once if we make it to Texas. Is that you're going to talk about Texas?
Texas.
But anyway, I'll let you talk about your big exciting week. Anybody?
Agent Sellybelly?
Okay, I had a big week. I actually went on vacation, and I would like to take this moment to complain about vacations. When you're an Ingress player and you go to a city that is just like a pool of ingressing, but you're with people who don't ingress and they don't understand, okay, we were there for a convention just to let it all out on the table here. I am into wrestling, like professional wrestling. Like I like WWE, I like independent wrestling. I like professional Japanese wrestling. I like wrestling. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
You do a
New Japan's
podcast on wrestling.
I do. Well, kind of. It's a whole thing.
Well, pimp that out. What's that show?
No, we haven't really started it yet.
Oh.
It's called Wrestling with a Wife, but we've got we don't start it yet. But anyway,
Dirty.
Chicago had this event. If any of you are Ingress and wrestling fans, you'll know. This event was called All In, and it was put on by 3 independent wrestlers, which was a major show that was not done by WWE, which is unheard of in the wrestling world these days. And it was a massive success. The best professional wrestling show I've ever been to. It was amazing. And not only was this wrestling show done, but there was a 4-day convention wrapped around this thing. So we went to Chicago, which is a major wrestling city, and did this whole event. And it was actually outside of Chicago, but we went into Chicago for 1 day of it, and there was so much ingressing to do. But because we were there to hit certain hot spots, I hit 3 or 4 ingress points, but it's not like I had free time to go and do all of the ingressing I could have done. You know what I mean? We hit Wrigley Field, we hit Hard Rock Cafe and the little things along the way, but for the most part you're on the go. And then when you're in a convention, as you guys know, okay, you hit the same 2 targets 29 times a day.
And you got to walk outside to do it.
and there's no going outside because like, you have to drive like a mile away, and like then you're not at the convention. So, yeah. So how do you deal with vacations in ingressing hotspots? And people like that you talk to about Ingress are like, oh, here's all these keys and here's all these things that we can hook you up with people we know. And I'm like, dude, don't bother, because I'm not gonna get to do any of that. And you can't even do a banner.
Here's a tip for you: don't take the family. Just leave them at home.
Well, it was a family trip.
Well, that's your first problem. No, I get it. That was like our trip to Boston and New Hampshire. It was a family trip. So it was like we had the anomaly day, and then they were game to come out for the mission day. And you know, I'm a little obsessive about Ingress, so they know that, and they still love me, I think. Haven't been served any papers quite yet. So they lived with a little bit, and I tried to, you know, do stuff that they wanted to do and not just make it all about Ingress as much as I could. But there were times where they were sleeping and I was out playing Ingress. So that was... But that's you know, you snooze, you lose, or you wake and you hack.
So were they sleeping naturally, or did you have to drug them?
That time, naturally.
Oh, okay.
Naturally.
Okay.
I kept them up late doing the fun stuff that they wanted to do. And they were all tuckered out, and I just don't sleep, so. But
I am
you had
one
a
of those
fun
people...
trip anyway.
Yeah, I had a great trip. It was phenomenal because it also involved one of my other loves, so that was fine.
So you could go back there next year for the anomaly.
I am actually going in April because one of my other loves, I'm a person of many fandoms, and I am going in April for Star Wars Celebration is in Chicago. So I'll be there for that. I already have my tickets and hotel and all that booked, so...
Well, that's not when the anomaly is. Like,
I know. I'm going to share twice, neither of which are for the anomaly, and I can't afford to go back a third time for the anomaly. This is so stupid, but the whole family will go to wrestling. The whole family will go to Star Wars. The whole family will not go to Ingress. How do you deal with this?
Okay, so there's doing it on the cheap, right? So that's one of the things is like, you just say, you know what? If I got to sleep in my car for a couple days, I'm going to sleep in my car and not take any showers and just smell and wear the same stuff and pack peanut butter and bread, and you just do it. And then, you know, you'll probably run into some Ingress friends who have a room and will let you, you know, couch surf or floor surf or tub surf, whatever they call it these days when you're sleeping in the meth hole. The bathtub was what we call it. Down south, it's the meth hole. It's where you make meth. It's in the bathtub.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's
true.
It's kind of, I mean, like, I'll be driving up to Chicago. I'm going to be driving over to Austin. I already hit up some coworkers that they live out of an RV, and I was like, it's right around the holidays. Maybe they're going to fly back to be with, like, their family, and I can, like, Airbnb their RV. No, they're going to be there. And it's an RV. So... And they have 2 kids in an RV. They live in an RV with 2 kids, like 2
and
small...
4 dogs and 2 cats and a turtle.
I don't know if they have any pets.
No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
So I won't be staying there. But anyway, I'll get to that part later. But so yeah, so it's just like priorities. 1, 2 is just doing it on the cheap. Just air miles. Do the whole miles thing, but yeah. So, but yeah, you can make it work if it comes down to it.
Yeah, the Hubs and I don't really do like separate weekends.
Yeah.
So that's a different that in itself would be a different discussion for us.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go away. Mommy's going away, like for my son too. Like, where are you going?
Well, I wonder if you could get. I mean, they're not playing much, but like if you get your beau to come and have a weekend of playing in Ingress to him, right? hashtag Ingress Lifestyle to everyone else. But and then a little partay action, see some folks. A little.
I can't be like the first person to have this. Like, is this just something like every Ingress player goes through in the progression of their ingressing
Before they get divorced? Yes.
Kind of like where you have to like confront people and be like, no, this is important to me. And then like have to like spell it out and make these things happen. Like,
yeah.
Is it just normal in
think so.
The culture of Ingress? Okay, I'm broaching that point. Let's say I'm on the hub of jumping off of that point.
So, and I think that'd be great for people, let us know. Like, so many people have been through this to one degree or another. Like to hear like how you deal with it with, your significant other, your SO, and how are you not SOL, right?
Well, because my SO plays. He just hit level 7 this week.
Nice.
Actually, yeah, like he plays, but it's very fitted into a casual round the town lifestyle, not like going out of the way to do it yet, So
right, and I wonder if it's some of that. Well, I don't know if he would enjoy like an anomaly. If that would like amp it up to a point where it's like, oh, now I get this. Like, I think there's a point. Like, I started Ingress and I did not get it until I met the right people who I talked to and found out, oh, there's more to this than just making triangles. I mean, that's a big part of it, but how you make it and how big you make it, like it's different. And I think people have a different point at where they kind of get that. And so until people are there, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, they think it's just a game.
Yeah.
True. Little do they know.
Hashtag Ingress Lifestyle.
Speaking of the lifestyle, the other thing I have is for long time listeners that have listened for me on 2 or 3 episodes, you'll know that I work on a college campus, and so new students are on campus now, which brings new players to Ingress to our college campus. And so all I gotta say is go Ingress, go green. I mean, go blue and go green, but go green more, because the college campus I work at specifically, our college colors are green and white. So
nice.
Don't you like? It's odd. I think it's super odd that we're getting like a surge of blue players on campus.
Are
like,
you
I don't know where
Spartans?
you came from, kids, but you're in college now. We are green. We bleed green.
They're rebelling.
I don't know. Like, or maybe they're like hometowns were blue. I don't know, but it is added a little bit of fun, a little bit of life to our ingressing on campus. So it's been good. We're gonna blow them up. I don't care. We'll blow them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. That's like around here, it's been kind of green lately, and there's been some new players or old players that are visiting that have, blown up some stuff, and it's like, oh, good, now there's something to do, and not just wonder, where the heck everybody is.
Definitely.
What's going on? So it sounds like you had a fun week or 2 weeks.
Did.
Except for you got sick. I'm glad you're feeling better.
The convention crud hit me. Convention cough, convention crud. I don't know what people like to call it, whatever you want to call it. I had it. It was awful. My son got it. My husband got it. It's been a slow rebuild. You know how it is when you go to, you guys have all been to conventions and you're running on 3 hours of sleep and terrible food and just being stupid with not, having good nutrition and rest. So
and
there's a million people. There's a million people like touching everything, and you're compacted into these crazy hallways and lines, and
they're
popping all over each other. No, probably not.
No popping.
That's how you really get sick.
So,
that's something interesting I learned today, though, about sick and flu, and apparently the flu shot wears off, and if you get it now, like they're trying to get you to do, it's like right in the peak of the season, it's like worn out.
Yeah. Yep.
So, anyway.
I usually wait till November.
Before you start
That's usually because my mom actually works at the health clinic on campus too, and so she's around November is where I can't ward her off anymore, and it's like get your flu shot. It's like, right over.
And she probably pops and locks for you while you're there.
No,
a little break dancing.
I don't think she would know what that is.
Give me a little shot. Shot. That's how it goes. So anyway. That's good stuff. I went out of town for a day.
She's pretty cool, but
speaking of like dealing with family and how cool my wife is, like Saturday I woke up and I was like, I think I'm going to drive to Atlanta. It's about 3.5 hours from us, and there's a park there, Six Flags. So I went to Six Flags by myself and proceeded to do some ingress at Six Flags. And then on my way home, I made a field. It was, I don't know how many layers it was, but I farmed like 20 keys off an anchor on my way home. I like fracked it and got keys. And it was about 14 layers, ended up being about 2.5 million MU. So it was awesome. And it made it through checkpoint, only like 30 minutes past checkpoint, but still checkpoint. And I'm trying to open up my scanner to give a shout out. Well, I was at Six Flags. All of a sudden, someone started popping my resos off of different portals there. So I'm like, oh, I got some resistance here. And so I started looking to see who it was and like what portals they were hitting. And so I started kind of narrowing down, a little stalkerish, I know, but ended up seeing this dude, and I could see, he's just like, who's at Six Flags besides me, just like looking at your phone, like, and then kind of walking around and look. And so I walked up to him and I was like, hey, let me see if his name's here. His name's Guitar. Oh, I'll find his name. Anyway, so I said, hey, are you playing Ingress? Are you so-and-so? And he was like, yeah. And so we talked for a few minutes, and I gave him like my cards, and he's kind of a new player.
Wow.
Oh, it's like Mr. Guitar Squiggly, or darn it, I can't go back far enough to see. This is why you should write stuff down. Because I didn't. Oh well, I can't see it.
Well, we'll just call him Guitar McSquiggles.
Guitar McSquiggles. I guess I could look at keys and see.
I'll be really happy that you forgot his name. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So come up and say hi if you ever are in the area, and I will be sure to forget your name too.
That's pretty cool.
I will find it. I meant to write it down, and it was just a busy week.
I think a lot of people would be actually having their phones out, just not playing Ingress. Maybe Pokemon Go or taking selfies or something like that. So, because I would imagine looking around and seeing like a lot of people on their phones going, "Who is it?" But
it's
when
really
you looked around,
not.
you just saw the one.
Like
really?
Everybody's like trying to get to the next ride, or they're in line for the. Like it's one thing if you're in line waiting for a ride, and you're like,
yeah, that's what I'm
looking at stuff.
Just bored,
but when you're off in a corner and like tapping on the phone and anyway.
So yeah, like on campus, like it's impossible to tell who's playing because everybody's looking at their phone. They're all texting or messaging or Instagramming or maybe playing a game. I don't know, but everyone has their phone out and holds it like this because even if they're just listening to something or waiting for text to pop up, they all have their phone out while they're walking.
Oh yeah, right.
So it's just the way of the young.
The way of the dodo
whippersnappers.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got to meet someone from another faction, from another city. That was cool. And booked room for Austin. So definitely be going to Austin. Going to be driving over there. Going to be making a stop in, I think, Houston on the way. And on the way back. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then lastly, I was paying some bills and noticed. So we used Uber last time we were at the other anomaly, and all of a sudden they had all these like charges from Uber. Like one was for over $400 for one charge. So someone got my card number and used it in Uber, and I guess that's the only place they could use it, and just racked it up. I mean, all the way to the limit.
Did they drive to China?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, where did you drive to? And you're like, oh, let's see if I can use more of the money on this card. Let's drive somewhere. Maybe an Ingress player was driving around just hacking portals.
Everywhere.
Like
Doing
whatever.
city banners, right? Like, what?
Right? I got a banner mission. So let me know if that was you. Maybe I can get you a trading card too. Maybe just like $10 cash. Something. Just come to my house and kick me in the nuts. Just it's a great thing. Anyway, so that's about that. So great weeks.
Wow.
Situation report.
City sit rep. I got some new stuff going on this week. I guess more than you would think, right? It's been kind of
2 weeks.
slow.
We'll be honest.
Okay, there you go.
We
Yeah,
missed a week.
That's true. There's looks to be some changes to OPR. So a senior software engineer at Niantic, Jane Degtierreva.
Good job, buddy.
Anyway, she's a senior software engineer at Niantic. She made a blog post today that pretty much guarantees an OPR upgrade is coming soon to Ingress Prime. And this here's a little quote from the whole blog post. Trainers, and this is to Pogo players, of course, trainers who submit a nomination will be able to take photos of the surrounding area to provide us with more information. Additionally, there's an opportunity for the trainer to share why they believe it's a point of interest worth including in the game, so they can illustrate their thought process directly to the approval committee. Pretty cool, right? So now you can plead your case and be like, okay, guys, this is not my Led Zeppelin poster in my room. This is a famous Led Zeppelin poster in a museum somewhere, right? You can explain it now. I think that's pretty decent.
Yeah. I think that'll be cool. We
I like that.
had some comments in our TG about it as well. Agent Dark Home LSU, or Dark Hornet LSU, two different things. Said 2 cool things being added to Pokemon Go submission system. You submit a second photo that is for context of the point of interest. This should help a ton with trying to verify it. The location matches what you see in Street View. And also number 2, in addition to the title and description, you are allowed to submit a short paragraph explaining why your submission is significant. This is great for adding what criteria you are basing your submission on without having it immortalized in the description, which, you know, I'm guilty of. Like, I'll sit there in the description and be like, this should be a 5-star because it's a church. Right? And they're like, now it's always going to be there. Or like there's that one portal that I changed the description to and added our names to it. And it got approved. That's awesome. So this is a statue of...
Oh, that was great. Oh, yeah. Descriptions are fun. And nobody cares about them, it seems. That you can put pretty much anything you want to in there.
Anything but a URL, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be blatantly stupid, but you can sneak some stuff in there if you want, if you try hard enough.
The great artists, Brent and Eric.
Right? If it sounds good, right? Yeah, okay.
And so that'll be cool. That's for Pokemon Go. They, like you said, they had a big blog post about it, and it looks like it's going to be level 40 players in Pokemon Go are going to be able to make submissions. But the agents from Ingress OPR is going to be the ones who are still grading them, deciding whether they're, at least from how it's worded. I mean, maybe they could make their own OPR, but why call it OPR since it's Pokemon Go and not Portal?
Yeah.
Portal.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a portal. I don't know.
So that'll be interesting. I know there's a lot of people that do what?
We're kind of stretching the role play aspect of the game here at this point. But yeah, with the OPR and stretching that into judging the Pokemon Go. They're not portals.
And,
but, yeah.
you know, Wizards Unite later will probably use the same
Soon.
portal network.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So
It's funny though that like they kind of have this built-in trust system with their Ingress community.
right, because we don't take no shit. We
I don't know.
only do certain descriptions. We don't play around with that stuff.
I think it has a little more to do with the strategic value of portal placement in Ingress, whereas in Pokemon Go, it just behooves them to have more portals.
Right. It'll be this is a famous door to my house. Make it a portal.
I have a famous garage in my
house.
backyard.
And the rules. I don't even know if it is a rule. I guess it's not a rule about having like multi accounting in Pokemon Go, because they have a blog post on their site about a dude in like somewhere in Asia, 11 phones. Uses 11 phones so he can like take down the big bosses just by himself. Has 11 accounts. And it's things like that, and like they're spoofers. They like call them like they're calling an air raid and an airstrike and stuff. It's like that. They don't care. So like, do we really want them deciding what portals will be in Ingress, right? Because then it will be every McDonald's and every Hardee's and every Burger King,
Every Walmart.
No community is perfect. I'll say that.
Right. I still play some Pigo. I'll play some Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
I can't wait to play some Harry Potter Wizards Unite. I do play some Pigo from time to time, but my main game that I have, driving everywhere I go, not that I play while I drive, because I do, but I don't. I don't. It's Ingress.
Right? Hey, it's better than some of those other games that let you like full on play the game while you're
I can't play while I'm on the freeway.
Like Bejeweled?
Anyway.
Have you ever played?
Like it on.
Trying playing Bejeweled while you're driving? Like, trying to get that.
I know.
Not good. It's not good. Shouldn't do it. I mean, I'm not saying I do it. Yeah. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see. People are, I know, worried that OPR is going to just be flooded with all these crappy portal submissions, and so I would say, I hope that they add a level, a guide, kind of like joining the OPR. Make the players watch that, read that guide before they're allowed to submit submissions. Make them pass that just as much as being in the OPR. And then when the day comes that they can do their own OPR, they'll have already taken the test anyway. But please, for the Ingress community and OPR, we don't want to have to reject every single Walmart again. We already had to do it once when Eric came through with his Walmarts. We don't want to have to.
We already fixed Eric's problem. What I would say is, what I would assume that they would do, you can't show them the same Ingress intro movie to OPR that we got, because we care. We're playing this game. We're invested in this game. We're invested in the storyline behind it. It pulls you in. You understand like why something's important and why it's not in Ingress. They need to format a video to the Pokemon Go in a way that explains the same thing, but within that storyline.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. Otherwise, why would they care?
In the Johto region,
storyline, they don't play it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, some people blame Pokemon players for some things, but you got to view it I think you're saying from their viewpoint. Like, they're playing Pokemon Go. They have no clue or could care less about Ingress or any other game, and they don't know what we think are rules compared to what they are, and so
they shouldn't have to. That's the game they're playing. Yeah. You need to make that explanation fit into their storyline.
And I agree, and I think even further, I think really they should just have their own OPR and system where they make portals and
they're different.
And they approve them. They're only in Pokemon Go. They're not in Ingress, and it's just all separated. And then maybe you could have something for especially rural areas with less portals, where maybe they get some portals in from that system. that to check. And
I like that idea.
They kind of take it a little less than just all of them, but we'll see how it happens. It's slow progress. I think it's happening in Brazil. Is that where? Cough button. Anyway, so that's awesome, as well as so dying for the Ingress animation, which will be out on Netflix in most places, as well as was it Fuji TV? Is that the other?
Fuji something? Yeah.
The Fugees?
Something.
Man, I wish I
that.
could remember one of their songs right now. Can't. Killing me softly with his animation. No. So they released 3 new cast members for the Ingress anime. So we learned a little bit more about the story and some of the folks that are going to be in it, as well as there's a bunch of story, which I didn't realize how much was actually released. If you go to the ingressanime.com website, we'll link to it in the show notes. They're starting to release little storyline pieces for each of the 3 main characters as people find, I guess, codes at portals or something, then submit them as passcodes. And so now on those pages, you can actually see which faction discovered it, because they actually show the piece of the storyline, and it has like the icon of the faction as well as the faction color for that piece. So we can see who's winning that, and then they'll tweet it every once in a while, the score. So it's interesting. See the storyline. Can't wait to watch it. And it's soon. October 17 is when it comes out on Fuji TV. Fuji.
Is that
FUGI, right?
so? Is it coming out like before Prime or after Prime or during Prime?
I think at this point,
before Prime.
Yeah, I think it's going to be before Prime, because
No, I take that back. I hope it's after Prime. I want Prime first.
Yeah.
You want Prime first before the cartoon?
I want Prime today because
we
I'm
all
an
want it now.
iOS user. Well, I'm an iOS user. I have some issues here.
That's right. That's right. You want to talk about that? What are those issues?
I don't know. I come back from vacation. I'm told I can't upgrade my phone or I can't play Ingress. Thank God I didn't. Because I was not really paying attention to stuff. And yeah. So I'm freaked out because my phone sometimes just it'll just, at a certain point, it gets to a point where it just says, log in, and it upgrades when I hit Wi-Fi.
Right.
So I'm worried.
So maybe you need to come over to Austin then in November, because there is something they posted about on the website and the iOS FAQ is that iOS 12 is not compatible with Ingress, so do not update. What they are going to do is, if you can get to an anomaly, they will get those players that are on iOS into the beta when it comes out, so that you can be on the beta, which should work on iOS. And we'll link to the show notes. There's a whole FAQ on the Ingress support about the issues with iOS 12 and what you should do and what you should not do. But we talked about this on the last episode. Do not upgrade iOS. Might as well just move to Android at this point, right? How dedicated are you?
3.
Nope.
You don't want the Pixel 3? Those are
3.
awesome.
Nope. I like my iPhone.
I love my iPhone. I am so in the ecosystem of Apple. Like, I have the watch.
Yeah,
I haven't worn a watch forever, but I love my watch. I hate the headphones for the most part, but I love the AirPods. But I'm selling it all and moving to Android. So
wow.
The main thing is because of the Google Fi plan. Like, you can't get iOS on it; you have to go Android.
Yeah. I was looking at that today. I might switch to that too.
Oh, I might have a code for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, let me know after the show. So, you could probably root your iPhone and install Android OS on it.
Well, you
if
could,
you really
but
love the hardware.
For Google Fi, the problem is that you need a phone that can handle the dual SIMs, or now they have the virtual SIMs. Like, so the Pixel 2 doesn't even need a SIM card. They do some kind of weird virtual SIM in it, but it's able to switch between networks. And so they use, I guess, the 3 minor networks, so that they don't use the major networks, but it still switches to whichever one's the best. And I have had the best signal on it so far out of pretty much every plan. So I'm super happy with it.
Cool.
But the takeaway from all that is iOS 12. You're screwed.
I'm screwed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am screwed. And I would just like to clarify, I'm not one of those people who believes like one is better than the other. I'm not like diehard, whatever. It's just, that's just what I have, and I'm too cheap to buy a new one. I just got this in January. I'm not buying a new phone.
Right. Well, that makes sense. That makes
Not
sense.
happening.
No, and it sucks. Like I'm trying to move all our family off Sprint and get on the same plan because they have a pretty good like family plan, even because now they have a cap, so you can't go over their cap, even if everybody goes hog wild with data. But they're all Apple too, and everybody's used to Apple, and Apple is so good at like getting you in their system. Even like when I got off the plan, I wasn't getting my text from my wife because iPhones, if you're both on iPhones, they use iMessage instead of MMS or SMS or whatever. So it's a different system, and it like I would get an email with the text in it, and I'm like, so I had to go in and like disassociate. It is a big pain in the butt. So, yeah, I get it. It's stuff. So there's that. We got the anime. We got hotels. Ingress hotels.com has some hotels, not the U.S. hotels, but outside of U.S. for some locations for the upcoming Anomaly. So if you're looking for a place to stay, there's a place you can get some rooms. Also, they posted, and all this will be in the show notes, so I'm kind of glossing over some of it. The Glyph Challenge, Creativity, they picked the winners, and they posted links to those. And one cool thing, I don't know if it's cool yet, I'm still thinking about it, but interesting, they aren't all like in-game links and fields. Like some of them, one of the winners was drawn in the sand. And one of them was like spray painted on a wall. Like, so before I thought you had to make like the fields, and I'm like, that's kind of rough around here. But if I can just take some spray paint to my neighbor's house, I'm in. This next one, I am going to have a submission.
Yeah, I did not know that.
And lastly, AMA. I haven't checked. I checked before the show. It wasn't out yet. But it has happened, and we can expect it sometime after now. Unless you're listening to this at a later date, then it may already be. So we'll talk about those answers all on the next show. But first, we're going to look in here and see
what's in the capsule. What's in the capsule? 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 What's in the capsule?
Bum, 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 bum. All right. Well, we got another capsule to open up this week. It's been 2 weeks, so these better be really good. That's all I got to say. So, who wants to let it rip first? Who wants to pop and lock it first? Who doesn't want to pop out? Pop out with
Okay, I'll do a simple one because I like to go first when I bomb.
Okay.
So I went to Chicago. And the hotel we were at had 2 portals. So I hacked those. Obviously, my husband and I filled them up. We put a link between the 2 of them. They're very close together. And then we come all the way back to Detroit. And I didn't think anything of it because the west coast of Michigan, I assumed, would be full of links and stuff and be in our way. But I was super excited because here I am sitting in Ypsilanti, and this portal that I'm sitting at, I can reach both of those portals. It's saying I can link to both of them from here. I'm like, oh, and I linked those 2 so I can make a very thin slice portal.
Yeah, like a spike.
from like the east area of Michigan to Chicago-ish area.
Nice.
And it would just be obnoxious but someone will blow it up. It's fine. Like it'll just be exciting to make something that big. And I tried it, failed. It's just like failing. My friend Alistair comes down and gives me an S bowl, pops it on there, and he goes back, and I'm like, no, it's still not working. He goes back and does the math, figures out, no, like you with the levels of the portals and our levels and blah, 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 the links, you definitely have the ability to link that far. Are you sure you can link that far? I'm like, well, it's saying I can. It just keeps failing. So we came to the conclusion then that when you have a distance that far, the game doesn't always recognize all of the barriers between those 2 points.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know, and we wasted an SBUL. SoftBank Ultralink is but
yeah. So there is one. It'll highlight those keys in yellow. So like and that'll let you know that it's like
not legit.
Maybe not. It for whatever reason doesn't have the full data about it.
I didn't know that. So I guess it's a pro tip. Don't waste your S-bowls on stuff like that. And kind of map it out in the actual Intel map if you want to do something big like that.
Yeah.
I got super excited, and I was half an hour late for dinner, and because I was trying to do it. I was like, maybe it just failed.
Be awesome.
Maybe you have to keep trying. Like maybe there's a bigger fail rate for these. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and that's why you need the old IATC on your phone.
Nope.
Because, I mean, I'm horrible about going out and having a plan, and it's a half-baked plan, and then I get there and I start throwing the stuff, and I'm like, why didn't that make a field? Or why can't I link this? And then I get home and I go, oh, there's just a field there was just a link in the way. There was a micro link, something just really small, and I didn't check the whole line to see.
Stupid blip. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it would be nice to maybe get more information back, like when you try to throw something and it's like, can't do it because of this or whatever reason. And sometimes it'll give you info. But.
Because when it just kept, it looked like the game was glitching, so I just kept sitting there and trying. It would have been nice to get a message. So I guess my capsule is maybe a more informative message that, we tried to, like, barrier failed due to, or link failed due to barrier, is what I
And then you could have pulled out a link laser and just shot straight through it. That was for you, DJ.
Because I knew, like, that those 2 portals are super close together. I'm like, I thought for, like, a second there, I'm like, I'm threading the needle here. I found, like, some super weird tiny portal from here to there, and no I didn't. But it wouldn't tell me like why it failed. It just kept it just would glitch back to the screen, and I'm like, well, that's weird. So I guess my what's in the capsule is more clear messages.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
When links fail, that's all.
Yeah, they should be more clear.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then maybe a journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What you got, Agent Soho?
Okay, so mine is I guess influenced by MMOs, specifically World of Warcraft, because there's a new expansion, and anybody who plays WoW is probably playing that right now. So I would like to see introducing phasing into Ingress. So if you don't know what phasing is, it's basically where you wall off and you create instances within a game, right? So imagine a chessboard, right, where 2 people are playing, and if one of those players was to enter into a phase, it would be such that he could move his own pieces. The other person wouldn't see, but he could suddenly be playing his own little game by himself. He could play a little mini game where there's explosions and the board catches on fire. And then when the phase is over, he goes back into the two-player game, and the other his opponent never even knew there was a fire. He's like, "What? I didn't see anything." That's because he was in his own instance, right? So So if you introduce something like phasing, you could actually have maybe a group of 5 or 10 people going and doing an objective. You could include portals where there are no portals, right? And it wouldn't disrupt the game, right? Because only those people inside that phase would see it, right? So you could have multiple portals for whatever reason. Maybe it's an item that spawns them, or create something, maybe a pop-up farm or something like that. It could even be the next generation of missions instead of just a mission where it's pre-planned by another agent. It could be like an event planned by Niantic itself where you go and fight like a boss or do something big and massive. But again, it's in a phase, so it doesn't disrupt anything. It doesn't break anything. It's not overpowered because it goes away. It's only for the player inside of it. So it's like a bubble, right?
Yeah. They can do like anomalies in those. So,
right. They can
Yeah.
do an entire
instead of
anomaly.
the street
Disturb
sweeper
the whole
stuff.
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like little groups locally could get together and have like special days where they use this phasing, but it wouldn't disrupt like the rest of the city.
Yeah.
Right.
And they already have this tech, right? Because they use it for the training missions. Like when you do the training missions, it pops you into your own phase, and it actually like, here's the portal right here. It wasn't here before, which may be confusing to people. I don't know, and they're like, "This is weird." I still haven't completed mine. I'm waiting for the next anomaly, and I'm going to complete my training at the anomaly because it does a message in open comms.
Agent Goody Guy completed his training.
So I'm waiting. So I'm getting it down to the last one. But yeah, no, I like that. The phasing.
Yeah.
You can do your
Introduce
popping and
quests
locking all by
bosses.
yourself.
Yeah,
Lot
you
of
could get out there
potential.
and break dance. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now this is a lot of text when I look at it, and I don't know if I want to go into this idea. But
No, you gotta
Your
go into it.
text.
so we were
We
talking.
saved you for last because it was so much.
But lots doesn't quantity doesn't actually. I mean, it doesn't mean quality, unfortunately. But anyway, so we were talking about some ideas of group activities last time. And so I'm just going to read this because it's a lot of text. A group task for creating a field somewhere in your.
He can't read his own handwriting, even
No,
though
I
he typed it
can't.
out.
I used like short things here. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on.
You can't remember the
You're
gist.
bailing on your whole idea.
It was so
2
complicated.
weeks ago that I wrote this.
It was so complex. Not even you understand
Yeah,
it.
it's really okay. Here's the gist of it. I
Okay.
remember this. So you would basically in your sector, right? We're all in like we're Juliet. Oh, whatever. Oh, 2, oh, 1.
Yeah.
Oh, 2. In your sector, you would hack a portal, and this would be a random someone in the sector, and they would get a media drop, and this media drop would be of a task that you had to do, and it would give you, say, 2 anchors and a time, and that time would be a checkpoint. And so at that time, you would need to have a field, and this would be a pretty big field. There's no telling what it could cover. It would be in your sector. And if you had your field up at that checkpoint, then you would get stuff, whatever it is. Maybe it's just more points on the board above and beyond the MU scored. But the more people that you got involved in this, dropping links, farming keys, throwing, and so you got 2 anchors, so you can throw as many fields off those as you want, right? Like you can make it go outside your anyway. You would get more points for doing this, and everybody involved would get a badge, right? Just like a new badge for whatever this would be, and it would go up every time you did one. Now, here's the thing: on the opposing faction, they would be getting media too, and it could be using one of the anchors that the other faction had. It could be using both. It could be using neither, but close. So there could be some competition on farming keys, on to, getting that field up, multiple fields up during that checkpoint, things like that. So it'd just be a way to kind of add another dimension to like local play and getting team, because you would have to communicate to find out who gets this media. You know, who got it? Did anyone get it? Let's start talking to people, see if we can find maybe a new player got it and they don't know us yet. So it'd be a way to kind of get people all together and working and trying to figure this out. And it could tell them, hey, go join your Slack or whatever. Like, talk to people, try to, find your community if you get the piece, that media.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Aren't you glad you stuck with it?
I don't know now. We'll see. We'll see in the comments.
Yeah.
Leave a comment. I think it'd be fun.
But the badge you're talking about is an actual badge. It's not like a mission badge or something like.
It'd be in your scanner, right?
Right. Okay.
Well, I mean,
so like doing a mission, you get a badge, right? Oh, I see what you're saying. Like a mission badge, not like a mission day badge.
Right.
Right. Yeah. No, it'd be like a mission day badge. Like it would be for, it would be a new badge that you, every time you did one of these events, it would tick up one. And then, when you did it 10 times, you would get,
the
silver
next tier or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
then
Okay.
gold.
Okay. I see. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. I mean, it gives you more things to do. Like, I'm always for that. Like, just extra things, more rewards. I think that's pretty cool. It makes people kind of like pay attention to the checkpoint. I mean, for sure. Like, we need more checkpoint specific tasks and
I
I don't know, or recognition.
Right, because I think that's one of the things, like when you start playing, it's just a thing. Like you don't realize, no, we want to win these checkpoints. We want to win them, every single one. And that's the game. Like that's the goal. That's the objective here, is to win these. It's not just to level up, because
you
don't
get your MUs, that's great, but like it doesn't count for your team till the checkpoint hits. So
Right. And that's the big one, right? Like you got the field up, great, but you did it 4.5 hours before checkpoint. Like that's not going to be up. It's not going to count on the board except for you. It's pointless except for it looks cool.
Yeah.
So let's get to the point that that checkpoints matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I like it.
Okay. Well, that's
yeah,
awesome.
no, yeah, that's awesome.
Sweet.
I like the idea. I'm just processing it.
There comes a time in every friendship when you have to say, I never liked you, get lost.
Comms.
I feel like there's a new bumper somewhere, and I'm not sure I got it. JBJ Blaze, I'm sorry. I will get it next show. I promise. 'Cause I know there's a new one somewhere around here, and it wasn't one of those. But we do have some new comms, so I want to definitely get to those. And you can leave comms messages for us in a bunch of different ways. Telegram, you can call in, speakpipe.com/Agent Academy. You can leave them on YouTube comments. You can go to Agent Soho's house and leave them in blood on a piece of paper on his front doorstep. He loves those.
That's my favorite.
And you can send us smoke signals. We don't know how to read them, so we probably won't read them, but you can send them.
Western Union, in case you're stuck in the 1900s, early 1900s.
That's one way.
So the 1800s.
YouTube this week, we got a couple. Ethan DeRuby said, how did I just stumble upon my buddies from my youth? The Dead Workers Party? This is amazing. I listened to your podcast, The Shaft. The Shaft.
I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is.
The Shaft.
Nice.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I'm just kidding.
It's Minecraft.
Cool.
Shaft.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
So he just stumbled. He was like, wait, is that Brent and Eric? That is so weird. Like, that would be very weird if you had no idea and you just were just like, oh,
downloading a podcast.
That looks
Yeah.
cool. I mean, there's only like 1 billion podcasts on the planet, and
But only one Ingress podcast.
Well, okay, that's true. And if there's not, let us know. If you run a podcast, let us know. We always say that. No one ever contacts us. So
right?
maybe we
Until
are the
someone
only-
tells me otherwise. We're the number one Ingress podcast out there. Number one. We may be even the number one Pokemon Go podcast because we talk about that just enough.
Just enough. Sweet.
Until someone tells me otherwise. Also, Luke Maurizio says, give me some of those 300 Jarvis. I think that was to you, Agent Soho. Last
because
episode.
I still have a lot. Did I give some away?
No, we need
I
to
don't
have
remember.
lunch this week.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Luke, I would totally give you some if I could, but I'd have to meet you somewhere.
Come on down to Huntsville.
You know, I got some Jarvis in my trunk. You want some?
Oh, hey now.
But yeah, okay, well, cool. I'll give them out to Brent instead. Sorry. So we got some on Telegram.
Already read those.
I'm saying.
Sorry.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did them out of order, did you?
Yeah, I did it during news.
He's a master
If it-
manipulator of the show notes.
That got weird.
We got a call in though.
We got a call in from Agent Dewey J.
Love those.
Here we go.
Hey guys, Dewey J here. Something for what's in the capsule based on a conversation you had a couple weeks ago, running out of like level 6 resonators or level 5 resonators. Why don't we come up with an Ito N, a new class called Transformers, upgrade and downgrade. So an upgrade Ito N will bump up the resonators by 1 level, and the downgrade will bump them down by 1 level. So if you put a downgrade Ito N on a level 8 portal, it'll spit out level 7 resonators. Or you put an upgrade on a level 6 and it'll spit out level 7. Might make it easier for you to get the gear you need. Thanks, guys. Love the podcast.
That's really cool.
I love that idea. There's so many times like you're at like like there's a restaurant. It's already like level 7, 8, and it's like, but I want to sit here and farm level. You know, I need 4s and 5s. You know, and so it's
Yeah.
that would be amazing to be able to downgrade it, because also too then it would free you up to bulk up the portal to level 7 or 8 for the strength that you wanted to have, but then still get the gear you want.
Well, I think he means just by hacking it. So like it wouldn't be a true level 8. Yeah.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Like if it was a level 8 portal and you downgraded it just for hacking purposes.
Yeah, right.
So it would still, like, I would assume, maintain the strength of a level 8 portal, but then give you, like, if you put 4 of these on there, you would be like 8 minus 4 would be a level 4. You'd be getting level 4 stuff.
Oh, because that would stack. Okay.
Now, do you think it should work like a fracker though, so that it's not like
I think
you
so.
could kind of screw your team over, right? If you just went through town and just put these on every portal, and all the level 8s are all suddenly level 4s or something.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe if it's just like a temp, like fracker kind of thing, and it could then look like the E2N, and it would be a portal in disguise.
Yeah.
An Ito transformer, portal in disguise. And it can make that sound too, like when you put it on there.
So what if though you could actually bump a portal up or down straight up with a mod? I mean, minus the hacking and stuff, minus the output. I mean, that's too OP, right? Especially going up.
I don't think up is okay. I think down is fine.
Yeah.
Because if something's a level 8 portal and it's been a level 8 portal for like 3 weeks, you don't want to like take it. You don't want to if you're green, you don't want to ADA it, blow it up, take it down, just for an evening of hacking.
Right.
and so yeah. I mean, on 90% of the time, well, 100% of the time, you're just gonna be like, well, no, you just leave it the way it is. But
Yeah, you're right.
if you had that opportunity to just bump it down temporarily, like you were saying, like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I dig that. That's really cool.
And I like the fracking idea a lot more, where it's temporary, because you really wouldn't want to do that permanently to affect, because that's somebody's portal that they rely on as a level 8 portal. They're like, dude, you just destroyed our only level 8 portal.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we need that, you tool.
Yeah. Well, then I could see, trolls using it, and even people with like backpack accounts, right? Just because people already use frackers to kill a portal, right? They'll just keep fracking it to death until it's next to nothing, or at least that cuts it in half, and then they can pop it with the rest of the stuff. So we don't need any more of that. But I love this idea of being able to sit there and hack something for a while that's been there, because you can always make it what you want otherwise. But
instead of the stacking up or down, what if it was just one, right? You just put it on there, and then it asks you a number, or it has a little toggle, and you just type it, toggle it up or down to match the number. And if it's a 7, then you're okay. Turn it to 7, put your mod in, and walk away. Now it's a 7. You could type 1 if you want to. That way it doesn't have to stack. It's not expensive, and it's not all crazy. It could just be whatever you want it to be for 20 minutes or whatever. So maybe something like that. I don't know. Either way, it's got a lot of versatility. So thanks, DJ. That's a good one.
I'm sorry I got it in the wrong segment. I always think calls or comms, but it's not the case. That was a what's in the capsule.
Yeah.
So you can take me to school now.
Do we have a bumper?
No.
Oh, all right. We're taking him to school where he's going to learn. Learn what, you might ask? Well, an Ingress tip or two.
Ingress tip or two. 1 or 2. Just one.
Just one. That's a pretty sweet one. Okay. And which tip are we gonna do today? The top one?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do this one, Zelly?
Sure. Are you trying to find a portal dense area? Use the mission creator tool. All you have to do is start a mission and then choose the waypoints. The waypoint chooser actually shows bubbles of portals, and you can zoom in to find pockets of portals.
Now, if y'all
Did I say that right?
So yeah, that's perfect. So
I read it exactly. It's not my tip, so I had to read it.
Well, I was just looking in because I just made a couple more missions. Had 2 approved. I'm actually starting to make some missions that use a letter, so we can spell out Agent Academy in missions if we want to. So I have T. I have T done for Triana, because that's right down where I live. So got a few more letters to do, and you got to do multiples, because you can't do the same mission and have it show up twice, right? So anyway. When you're in there, I don't know if you've seen the mission creator tool, but on the map, it's like as you zoom in, like it'll tell you like there's 20,000 portals in this area. And then as you zoom in, it'll be like there's 1,000 here, 1,000 here. And if you zoom in further, you can get down to and see just like, oh, here's a bunch of portals. Why are they there? And you go, oh, that's a nature trail or that's some kind of, memorial thing. And so it's a good way to find these little pockets of portals, and I'm actually going on a work trip in early October down in Orlando, and I decided to break up the trip and stay halfway down, and I used so this is a sad thing. I used the mission creator to pick the spot I wanted to stay because it had the most portals that was in that kind of hour range between where I wanted to stop. So I'm going to be stopping in Dothan, Alabama. Like no one stops there.
I love you.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
If you want to check this out, go to ingress.com/missions if you've never done it on any, whatever device, computer you use. What level do you have to be though to have access to the mission creator?
Oh, do you have to be a certain level?
Yes.
Oh, well, I know 14 works. But I've been able to do them for a while, so I don't know.
It's pretty early. I want to say like 8 or something, but maybe even earlier.
We'll
When
get
did I
this.
start?
We'll
Yeah,
get this.
there's a level you have to be to make missions.
Huh.
What
Guess
level
I
can you
don't-
make missions? Level 7.
Is it level 7?
That's what this Reddit post says, and Reddit never lies.
Never lies. Reddit is
Oh, well, okay, so different things say different things.
Level 7. Andrew Krug
It's level
is
7.
in the chat room, and he says 7.
7. Okay.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
But yeah, there is a level requirement for missions. I remember that. But if you ingress.com/missions, you can see what missions are in the area, and also maybe if you're in an area that doesn't have any missions, make some missions.
Yeah.
Make
Give
some
people a reason
noise.
to come to your area and play the game.
Right? And if you come to Huntsville, you can do the Agent Academy mission. That's my favorite
I will do
mission so
that.
far.
Oh,
Three
that's
people
right.
have done. And the cool thing is, once you make a mission, you can actually see how many people have actually done the mission.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I was starting a group of missions. I've only done the first one so far. That was a scavenger Huntsville mission, and so it was all hidden waypoints. So you had to find the first waypoint and then answer the question right. And so you'd answer the question right, and it would give you like the clue to get to the next portal. And so it's like a scavenger hunt to get through the whole mission thing. So I was going to do those everywhere. No one's done that one yet, oddly enough.
the
Including
scavenger
me.
hunt ones are difficult.
Yeah,
so
they are.
yeah.
But I might give a
I did-
prize.
Yeah.
I gave the first two people who did the Agent Academy mission a little Agent Academy bag.
Oh, the little
completing
zipper
it.
pouch
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, Falkar and Lily Kate actually were the first two to complete it. So
Oh, yeah.
with them two and me, 3 people have done it so far.
That's it?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know.
all right. Well, I still need to do it. I haven't
do.
even done it. All right. Well, send in your comments about not doing our mission. I'll do the same. Yeah. Oh, it's you again.
Pardon me, Agent Soho, Agent Goonie Guy. I'm afraid you are needed in the Situation Room. If you could please wrap it up.
Wrap
Guys,
it up.
so rude.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
not even here.
So Agent Zellybelly is here too.
He's so rude. Like, no, I'm not needed though in the Situation Room. I get it. I get it.
You're not needed. Why doesn't he just text us? Why does he always have to bang on the
So
door
rude.
every time?
Right. And
All right,
how
you
is he
guys-
coming
you guys-
into both of our doors at the same time? It's weird. We both like look around like he's in some
know,
weird
it's
portal
really-
door.
It's really weird how he does that.
It's
You guys gotta
crazy.
go.
Crazy stuff. So
Yeah.
anyway, can you believe it's been another hour?
It has been
No.
another hour.
It's taken me away from making a field, making a triangle. So before we go, we need to and see, this is why you should be in our Telegram. Certain someone, Mr. Andrew Krug, just gave some passcodes in there. So if you were in our Telegram, you would have them right now. So thank you, Andrew, for that.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
sir.
As well. And we've got one code to give everyone. So if you go to the website, that's agentacademypodcast.com, and you go to the episode 34 page for the achievement, put in this code, AA CONFLU. That's CONFLU AA. This was last week. This is when we put it in because you're going to be here. So you put that in, and you'll get the badge for the episode 34. And there's a bunch of other badges there as well you can get, as well as news. And I'm sorry, the news has been slow on the site this week. I've been, the company I work for merged with another company, and it's been super crazy, busy dealing with a bunch of stuff there. So I will get back on the news, and we'll try to have the news more, what's the word? Frequent, reliable, on time,
More
urgent, newsy.
More newsy. More newsy.
It'll be more newsy. And thanks, everyone. And maybe I should make a way for people to submit news.
Ooh, tips. Yeah, or
and
Posts,
tips.
I don't know.
And there is some new stuff there. If you go there to the website, check up in the menu. There's a whole bunch of new stuff we added for just Ingress information as well. Other websites that do Ingress community site stuff. You can find it up in the menu, as well as agents and activity, agent awards, news, passcodes. Hey, everybody loves passcodes. So go there and you can find close to forever passcode kind of things, as well as a way to submit what's in the capsule, submit ideas for the show, and see all the show notes and all that crazy stuff there as well. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful week, and make a triangle or two. Layer them like a cake or like a shot. What's a good shot that you layer?
A good shot?
Yeah.
Long Island iced tea. That's not really a shot, but
That's not a layer, though.
you don't layer it.
Black
You
and
mix it.
tan is
There you
layered.
go.
That's a beer, though.
That's
not a
okay.
shot.
That'll go.
Okay.
And do it in a red Solo cup.
Like, you
the
can't do
layers
the layers then.
So anyway, thanks everyone. Come back next week. I believe next week. Oh, holy crap. I almost forgot some big news.
Uh-oh.
So the EBL. You all remember talking about the EBL?
EBL.
So EBL, they do basically like Ingress like playoff tournaments, right? For you build a team. Unfortunately, it's enlightened only, though they will get the code out there for Resistance. If some Resistance folks want to make their own EBL-like system. But anyway, the final tournaments are coming up, and we're going to announce the teams live on the show. Now it'll be early one morning, so I don't expect either of y'all to be here because I agreed to this. If y'all want to, that's fine. But there's gonna be the two guys who run the EBL. We're gonna pick them out, and then I'll run them through like the show stuff, like we do with like ideas and stuff. So that'll be on the I think the 23rd, September 23rd. So.
Okay.
The show won't be on Wednesday that week, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. We'll work around it. We'll figure it out.
Awesome.
So we'll talk about that more next week. Come back and see, and I will turn off Telegram messages next time so you won't hear that thing the whole time. Like that. Anyway, night.
Good night.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Or good morning. When?
Caravan may not believe in you, but I do. I super believe in you, Tad Cooper.